Hello everybody, this is Yakes87 and welcome to Sebring International Raceway for the final event here at the racetrack. In this event we will be running 87 laps with the 2017 Ford GTE, the GTE IMSA car, and I can't wait to get started. I have the session set up at about a 10:15 start time with a 4 times increase on time, and what that's going to allow us to do, because I did the timing, and the 87 laps is going to take us about 3 hours to run. At 4x, multiply that, we're going to be able to simulate an entire 12 hours of Sebring in one video, and that's going to be really cool because we're going to get some daylight. Like right now I can see it's kind of cloudy, so we're going to get those sessions, and then we'll also be able to get some night racing going. So this is going to be pretty cool. I set the time scale to the exact date that the 12 hours of Sebring was in 2018, which is going to allow us to get as much of an accurate time scale of how the race played out in the actual 12 hours of Sebring. So sit tight, and we're going to go do our quick pace lap, and we're going to get going. So stay tuned. This is going to be a really long one, so I'm probably going to do my best to try to edit it down and not talk a whole lot during it, but I also want to make sure that the time scale differences are well represented. So I'm going to sit tight, and we're going to do an accelerated pace lap here, and then we're going to go green, and we're going to do 87 laps under 12 hours of Sebring weather conditions, well, time conditions. The weather is generated, so you shall see. Kind of got a cloudy track right now, which is going to make it kind of exciting because it's going to be really grippy at first. But anyway, let's do the pace lap. Alright guys, we're going around the final turn here. It is approximately 10:37 right now, which is about the time the real race went green, give or take a couple of minutes. So without further ado, let's go green and run some laps at Sebring International Raceway, shall we? Green flag, green flag, green flag, let's go. As I mentioned before in one of my previous videos here at Sebring, this track is very special, it's very meaningful to me, and being able to run these laps here. Not only that, but fun fact, this will be the 300th video uploaded onto my YouTube channel, and I think that's pretty cool that I was able to get this video to be my 300th video uploaded. So it's pretty special. I honestly don't know what I'm going to talk about for 3 hours, so I'm kind of mostly just going to sit in silence for the most part. But Sebring is a very difficult racetrack. It's not easy. There's a lot of just tricky corners. Like that last corner is pretty tricky. and the whole top half of the racetrack has got some challenges to it. But I mean, overall, to me, this is like the best road course, like on iRacing. Like, this is my favorite road course on iRacing, and it's not just because it's like one of the only road course events I ever attend, but just in general, it's just I can't think of a track that's more fun to turn laps on than Sebring International Raceway. There's never a dull moment. There isn't really a dull corner. Like, every corner has something unique to it that makes it just really fun. There's no elevation changes on this racetrack at all. It's as flat can be. And I think that adds another element to it. Hop over the curb a little bit there. Also, this Ford GTE is just such a fun road course car to drive. It's a very confusing car. I have no idea how to set this thing up. So I'm just running with like a basic setup I found on the forums. So shout out to the forums as being a good place to get setups and you have no idea what you're doing. And when I was trying to do this, I was trying to just use baseline setups, but the baseline setup for the Ford GTE is just, it's so bad here. It's just so bad. Like, it was just like not stopping, and then it was spinning out, and then like this is just like, okay, let me just find a different setup to use. So I found a different setup, and it made a world of a difference. Like, this thing is so much fun to drive now. I mean, everything's fun to drive at Sebring because it's, Sebring, but best road course ever. Just saying. I am just saying. So as you can see, Sebring's, it's pretty challenging. What do we got for fuel? We got an estimated 13 laps of fuel. I don't know if this thing had a full tank of fuel in it. I honestly did not check that. So we're going to be coming into pit right around lap 15 and fill it up. So I have a feeling this is probably going to be a 2-stop challenge, which is going to make it kind of exciting because the last ones were just like 1-stop challenges, but this one's going to wind up being a 2-stop challenge, which kind of is nice because since it's a little bit of a longer challenge, it'll be a little bit of time to come down pit road, and just kind of relax and take a deep breath and get things ready for like the different segments of the challenge. So right now I'm just kind of taking some easy laps. I'm not really trying to push it because this is a really long one. I did enough practice laps that I can get around the track pretty quick, pretty clean. But with this, I don't really want to push the laps just because of when I was doing the Pro Mazda challenge at the modified circuit, I was running by myself originally, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Oh my god, it's really cloudy right now. But I was running the laps by myself, and everything was going well. And then like on lap 60, I spun out in turn 17. Something weird happened, and I spun out and just killed the car. And you know, because I killed the car and got a 2x contact, I had to start over. So I was trying it again and just wasn't enjoying it. And then I was like, what if I got a friend? So I got my friend Nick Ward to join me, and we ran those 87 laps together and had a blast. I didn't really edit the footage down for that one. I kind of rush uploaded it because I was like, I need to get this video up for Tuesday, because I'm trying to do like Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. And if you didn't notice, this past Thursday there was no video uploaded because I was debating doing a live stream of this, but then I was like unsure about the footage that I uploaded before, and I wanted. So instead of like uploading a video on Thursday, I took the Sebring modified video that I did with Nick Ward, and I pulled the footage down. Well, I didn't take it down, but I locked it for just like a couple hours, and then I took the raw video file and I threw it into my editor, and I just like kind of watched like the first half hour of it just to see if it was okay. And there was a few things to cut out, but I mean most of it was extremely entertaining. So I wound up at the end of the day deciding to just leave the video up there and move on. So here we are today, doing our 87 laps at the full Sebring circuit with a full day to night transition at some point towards the end. So I'm guessing probably like, because the sunset here at this time of the year is around 7:30, 8 o'clock or so. So that's gonna leave us with a good 20 to 30 laps of complete darkness here at Sebring, which that's going to be pretty exciting. I actually did some when most of my practice here at the racetrack was under night conditions, because I've never raced the track at night. I wanted to like kind of get a feel for like how the track was going to look if I was doing some night practice. And that was a really good tool, because now that I see the daylight, I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, how the sunset goes, and as we transition towards the night for the final 20 or 30 laps or so of the challenge. So anyway, I am going to shut up for a little bit and just kind of focus on some laps. Fuck. Okay. One strike. Why did I do that? One strike. Self-spin, no contact, one strike. Okay. Time to clean it up a little bit. Okay, I've got this hair. There we go, let me pull that out. I got this hair that was just dangling in front of my eyes, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And it was just like kind of distracting me. I was like, oh, just shut up and run some laps, and then obviously made a mistake, so. Alright, so I'm not going to shut up yet. I'm just going to keep talking, and we're going to run these laps. So. Well, we've got 5 laps in the books. And hopefully that is our only mistake. It wasn't a big mistake, just a little quick loop. And we're back on track here. So, one strike. If I spin out 2 more times, then we are done, and I got to start over. So, let's try not to do that, shall we? I think that's a good idea. Yeah. Alright, so. Okay, now I'm actually going to shut up. And I'm going to do these laps. So, stay tuned. And we'll see you in a little bit here. As you can see, enjoying the cloudy conditions. Looks like the sun's going to start peeking out just a little bit. And it's going to be kind of fun. If anything interesting happens with the day-to-night transition or whatever, I will cut back and let you know, but I'm going to just sit down and run a couple laps as we ride off into the sunrise. So, see you guys soon. Hey guys, how's it going? We're back. We just completed lap 10, and that has been the fastest lap so far, clocking in at just over 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So we are closing in on that first pit stop. I do believe it is because we are low on fuel. obviously we're low on fuel. We have about 5 laps left of fuel, so we're probably going to be coming in on about lap 15 or so. It's been pretty interesting. The clouds have been just kind of coming and going, and it's been kind of fun to watch. It's like it'll get darker, and then it'll get lighter, and then it'll get darker, and then it'll get lighter again. But for the most part, it's been pretty sunny for the whole time. As I say that, now we're under a cloud again. A little bit of a wiggle there. I've been kind of tiptoeing through this corner since we made that mistake. Instead of like driving into the corner, I've been stopping about here. A little bit slower than you need to for that corner, but it's not worth pushing the envelope there again and spinning out and causing all kinds of mayhem and having to start over. That's what we were trying to avoid. So you can get these 87 laps in. As you can see, it is now just past noon in the race session, so we've been driving for about an hour and a half real time at a 4x scale. We've been at this for about a half hour, so.
2 minute 4.589.
Yeah, we're closing in on pit stops very, very soon. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's been going on, and I'll check back in with you guys when we're making the pit stop. So hang tight. Alright guys, it is currently lap 14. We're going to be coming in this time by to get tires and fuel and continue on our way. It is now 12:30, so the session has been, we've been basically on track for 2 hours real time, which is, it's pretty cool. Oh wait, I need to pit. I need to not go around the corner like that. So, anyway, here we go. We're on pit road. Yeah, let's zoom down pit road, shall we? Zoom! One thing I noticed is I forgot to set my car number on this thing. So, unfortunately, I am not driving the 87. And we're off, guys. So one thing I forgot to pay attention to when I was getting this car ready is the car number. Every other session I've had, I've been driving car number 87. This one defaulted to 64, which I guess is the number of the real Chip Ganassi Ford GTE, but it's also just like, but it's not an 87. I'm Yakes87. I need to drive car number 87. I might as well just re-rack and start over now because I'm not car number 87. No, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to talk about actually doing that because chances are, if I talk about like, oh, we need to reset for the car number, I'm going to wind up spinning out and wrecking the car and having to start over anyway. And at that point, I might as well just pick the new car number. But we're not going to do that. We're going to finish this up as car number 64 in this recording. This recording here, we're going to finish this up, all 87 laps. We've got 15 in the books. And yes, it looked like we were running with about half a tank of fuel, so yeah, we are going to need to pit one more time, maybe even 2, I think. We'll check it in a couple laps to see what the fuel says, and we'll do the math and kind of figure it out from there, but it looks like it'll be one more stop, maybe 2. We'll just have to check it in a couple laps, so I'm going to go run a couple laps, let the I just overshoot the corner. At least it's not a spin. At least it's not a spin. I'd rather overshoot the corner than spin out, because overshoot the corner is okay. But yeah, I'm gonna run a couple laps, and well, you can see the fuel mapping down there on the dash, but it's probably not accurate yet because you got to run a couple laps for it to figure out what pace you're going and that sort of thing. So we'll check back in a couple laps, do the math, and figure out how many stops we're going to need. But just if it's calculating at 31 laps that we'll need, one stop will only get us 62 laps, which means we're going to need 2 more pit stops before the end of this thing. So stay tuned. That is my fault. I should have checked the fuel cell on the car before I loaded the setup in, but I did not. But that is a-okay. We'll run the fuel out and we'll just come in and get more fuel. It's not going to hurt anything, so stay tuned. I'm going to run some laps and check back in with you guys if something interesting happens. So thanks for watching. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so lap 18, my wheel just unclamped itself from my desk. That was a little nerve-wracking going into a tight corner like that, but at least we weren't going like super fast, and it was like a sensitive spot on the track. It was just going into hairpins, so that's my fault. Probably just pulled the thing off my desk just a little bit. It's not mounted on, it's just clamped on with the plastic clamps. And I got an old wheel, so sometimes it kind of moves a little bit, unfortunately, but it is all good. So we are on lap 18 right now. We are closing in on a quarter of the way through. And what's concerning is the run time is closing in on an hour, right around the 1/4 mark. It's not supposed to be a 4-hour challenge. It was supposed to be a 3-hour challenge. So we will have to see. I think we're going to be okay. I think it should still clock in at about 3 hours. So how are you guys enjoying the tour? You guys liking it so far? This is pretty cool. 87 laps at every track. In a tour type style. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. This is like one of the challenges I was both dreading and also looking forward to, because I just love this track so much, but I also know it's going to be, we sit down and do this one and we're in for a long haul, so that's going to wind up being very interesting. We are 45 minutes in, give or take a couple of minutes for setup and the pace lap and all that. So yeah, we're definitely going to be, it's probably going to be about lap 25 or 26 or something when we hit the 1 hour mark, so that should line up alright. If you guys are enjoying the tour, make sure you like these videos and share them with your friends. Spread the word. Tell everybody what's going on here with the Yakes87 World Tour. It's a really unique event. You know, it's like a long-term event. There's a lot of tracks, a lot of different cars to drive, and you know, we've just barely scratched the surface. Even as many hours as we've already sunk into running these laps, we've barely scratched the surface, and that's the exciting part to me, because we have so many tracks that I've not even turned laps on yet to run, and that's going to be really cool, and it's really exciting. so I hope you guys are enjoying it. Be sure to comment on the videos. Let me know what your favorite event of the tour so far is. Which event you're most looking forward to, because I enjoy seeing the feedback. And if you have any interesting car suggestions for certain tracks that haven't been scheduled out yet that we'd be coming to, let me know those. I'd love to get some feedback, and because I've just kind of picked these based on my own preferences, based on like the size of the track, the speed of the car, etc., etc. But like, if you guys have any suggestions, like, hey, maybe when we go to Darlington, you want to see like the truck or something, or when we go to Charlotte Roval, which the new Roval, by the way, do you want to see the Cup car? I will drive the Cup car at the Charlotte Roval if that's what you want. Or I'm trying to think of another odd one, like let's say Road Atlanta. When we get to Road Atlanta, you guys want me to drive the Skippy, or the Kia, or the Pro Mazda again? Because I really enjoyed the Pro Mazda. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything you want to see, anything crazy combinations, or anything like that, I love the feedback. It helps me plan this out and make it more exciting, because this first stage of the tour, I kind of planned it out based on my own interests, what excites me, that sort of thing, based on the tracks that we have planned out. So
2 minute 5.
I'd love to hear from you guys. I really would. But anyway, we're just on lap 21 now. We're going to be well past lap 22 by the time the 1 hour mark rolls around. So hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm going to run a couple laps and check with you guys in a little bit if something exciting happens. So stay tuned. Alright, how's it going, guys? We're about an hour in now, and we just completed lap 27, so we've got 60 laps to go, which means it's probably going to be a little over 3 hours. When I did the math on this, I calculated it at an average of 2 minutes and 3 seconds a lap, which I thought I was going to be doing, but I think just being a little extra cautious to make sure we get these laps in. My pace has slowed down. I'm doing about 2:04 average, which I guess 1 second 87 times is a couple minutes, plus it's a couple minutes on the pit stop too. And we do that again. Great! That wasn't a full spin though, so I think we're good. Because I'm only counting if it's like a full-on like loss of control. So still only 1 strike. It was just kind of like a slide, and then we just kept going. So not a full loss of control, thankfully. But anyway, yeah, because of the spin earlier and then the extra pit stops we're going to be taking, I think that's going to make the time a little over 3 hours. Based on what I'm seeing here. We're an hour in, we've only completed 27 laps, so we obviously have 60 to go. 27 twice is not 60, so it'll be just a couple minutes off, but not much. We're looking at maybe like 3 minutes and like 10 seconds, or 3 hours and 10 minutes or so, just to get to the end. So that's not horrible. That's just a couple of laps. So. Plus, it'll be nighttime there, so it'll be a little different conditions than what we're seeing. So, I definitely have been learning with this car. If you find yourself over driving the car, if you try to cut back into the line that you're trying to run, that's usually when the trouble happens. But if you just kind of overdrive the car and just kind of go with it, slow down, maybe take a wider arc in the corner, everything seems to work out okay. So getting a little bit better with that, and I think that's going to help me with some of the other things I'm doing too, because if you overdrive the corner, even though it sticks when you try to put it back into the line you're trying to run, I feel like that's what's killing my tires, because I tend to like overdrive entry and then kind of move back into line, and I think that's like what some of my problem is. So definitely going to try to work on, you know, making sure, you know, I make the corner, and if I don't make the corner, to just run the line I'm running and regroup and hit it again next lap. So learning as always and having fun doing it. That's what this tour is all about. Fun and learning. Sounds like a school. It sounds like school, but it's not, because it's a simulator, which is really cool. Yay. So, we have 28 laps complete. We're on lap 29 now. So, yeah, let's get at it. We got a long way to go, but we've gone a long ways as well. So, we're making progress. We're getting these laps down. I'm really excited because once we finish up Sebring, there will be no road course racing for a little bit. We've got 2 events over at USA International Speedway, an oval track and a dirt oval. And then we're going over to New Smyrna Speedway next. And then after that we head over to Daytona, where it's kind of back to road course racing. But there's that big oval track, which is going to be lots of fun, and also some rallycross. So hope you guys are excited for the remainder of the Florida tracks. After Daytona, we're going up to Volusia Speedway for a dirt oval that isn't a dirt version of an oval we have, which is really exciting because I actually picked that track up for the tour because I knew it was coming up, but I have not turned any laps on it yet, so I don't even know what the track looks like. And I'm not going to know what it looks like until I load it up and start practicing for the tour, which is kind of exciting, to be honest. Another thing, when we get to Daytona, just like when I ran the Miami lap tracks, like I've never really raced on those tracks before, or driven laps on them for that matter. And there's a couple layouts at Daytona International Speedway, the road course, that I've not done yet. Obviously, on the rallycross tracks, I've been working on those a little bit, just because like I need to be able to figure out like how to drive the rallycross car, you know, what the track even looks like. I've been practicing that a little bit, so I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to roll into Daytona and throw some punches at the rallycross tracks with no issues. But the one that's like kind of concerning to me is the short road course, which is just like the infield portion. I've not turned any laps on that. I know it's just like, it's basically the regular Daytona road course, so that one's not going to be too bad. I think I'm running that one with the MX-5. I have to double check, but I think I put the MX-5 on that one. But the one that's like going to be the most troubling for me is the motocross, or the not motocross, but road course motorcycle racing. I forget what the series is called, Supercross or something. I don't know. I don't follow motocross racing. But there's like a motorcycle track at Daytona International Speedway. It's called Daytona International Speedway Moto, and it uses this crazy loop through the infield. And I've only just taken a couple laps on it just to see what it looks like. But that one is going to require a crazy amount of practice, because I'm running that one with the Radical, and already I can tell it's going to be an adventure, because that car is extremely unstable. So it's a challenge, and I'm definitely looking forward to that one because I know it's going to be a challenge. Daytona road course is going to be an easy one. I've run so many laps on that one. And then of course the Daytona Oval. For the Daytona Oval, just because like running laps by yourself on a 2.5 mile super speedway is boring enough when you have to like qualify there. But I'm not enough of a masochist to tell myself, you're going to go run 87 laps by yourself at Daytona, where all you're doing is just hitting the gas and just kind of just turning to the left but never lifting off the gas, because there's no real challenge there. It's just like a tedious thing to do. So I'm planning on I'm going to try to get some of my Integrity Racing folks together. Maybe we can get like a 12-car field or something, and we're going to go run like an 87 lap race just for fun, and just because that way it makes it just a little bit more exciting. So obviously the downside there, the race is going to be the race. As long as I'm running at the end of the race and not like wrecked out like halfway, then even if I'm like a lap down or whatever, it may not be the full 87 laps, but if I'm missing a couple laps, then I'll just load up a session and go run those laps. But the first laps will be in the race format, and then whatever lap I get wrecked on or I'm not able to complete, I will just run those solo laps and tack them on so we get to 87 total laps. But just to help reduce some of the tediousness, we're going to run that one as a race, and I'm really excited about that. I'm still working on putting that together. I'll probably put that together once we actually get into Daytona for the tour, so we'll see the workings of that probably after the holidays. I might take a little break with the tour when we get to the holidays, just because I got a lot going on, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to sit down and record all these videos in the middle of the holiday season with get-togethers and family events and shopping and all the other crazy stuff that's going to be going on over the holidays. So. But once the holidays are done, we're going to be in full force, knocking out the tour. You know, we got tracks in Texas and Arizona and California coming up once we're done with Florida here. So really excited about those tracks. Those are going to be really interesting and really fun, and I can't wait. But anyway, I am going to just kind of focus up, run some laps, and we'll check in with you guys in a little bit if something exciting happens. As of right now, it is 3 o'clock time, and we're under some cloud cover right now, so very shortly, probably around you know, when we're going to be pitting in about 14 laps or so. No, not around then, but probably the last 20 laps or so, we're going to start seeing the transition to the night track. So that's going to be right around the corner, and I can't wait to see it. So stay tuned, and I will catch up with you guys in just a little bit.
We're going to be pitting here in about 5. Way to manage that run. Good job. 2.
Alright, everybody. So we just completed lap 40. So we're getting close to halfway, and on top of that, we're also closing in on our second pit stop as well. So second pit stop is probably going to be about halfway. We just got our 5-lap warning as we're coming across the line, so probably going to be pitting on lap 45 or so. Another thing, we are also closing in on an hour and a half of the session running, and the reason I bring that up is because when I was doing the Pontiac video at the modified circuit, I loaded that one with the beta UI. So the last time I had a session open with the new beta UI, which I have to do it for this one because that's the only way to adjust the time scale, but the last time I had a session opened, it crashed an hour and 34 minutes in. So, fingers crossed that we're not going to run into any issues when we cross an hour and 34 minutes. So, hopefully, this will go smooth, and we won't have any interruptions with our 87 laps. So, like I said, closing in on a pit stop, closing in on halfway. So big milestones coming up in just a couple of laps. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update, see how things were going. We've had a couple clouds roll in. Right now it is approximately 4:23. So in just a couple of laps, not only will we have reached the halfway point, But we'll have also hit 6 hours of time on racetrack based on the 4X scale. So that's about halfway for the 12 hours of Sebring. So maybe we'll hit that at about halfway, because we are actually closing in on that. We're only a lap and a half from halfway. So remember, halfway is halfway through lap 43, so we're on lap 42 now, so 1 lap and half a lap from now, we will be at halfway, which is really exciting. So 1 lap from here is halfway. I have always kind of considered turn 10 as like the halfway point on the racetrack. It is the northernmost corner as well of the racetrack. It's also one of my favorites. It's probably my second favorite spot to watch the race when I actually attend the 12 hours of Sebring. My favorite corner is obviously turn 7, the hairpin, just because there's always just like a bunch of cool stuff that happens there. It's a good passing turn, and there's also a jumbotron there, which it's nice because you can sit there and see what's going on at the rest of the track. Because unfortunately at Sebring, there's nowhere you can sit where you can like see the whole track. Like if you go to a NASCAR race, you can sit kind of high up and see everything and kind of watch what you want. But at Sebring, you just kind of, you pick a corner and you watch that corner. But I like the hairpin turn, especially towards the end of the race, because then you can kind of see like who's pitting, who's not pitting, how the strategy is working out. So I typically watch like the last 2 hours of the race from hairpin, just because it's a good vantage point to see what's going on with the race as things are winding down and coming to a conclusion. So, lap 43. Once we get to turn 10, we're officially halfway done with Sebring International Raceway, and as you can see, there is my fuel light warning. We're halfway, guys, so we're officially starting the second half of the challenge here at Sebring International Raceway. And as you can see, as we start the second half, we're reaching about the same point where we went green. So yeah, this is probably going to cover exactly like 12 hours. So the 12 hours of Sebring. So it's currently 4:40 in the afternoon. So next time by, we're going to be coming down pit road for the second time. And we are going to need to come in one more time towards the end. Probably just a couple laps to go, just to top off on fuel. And that's a big cloud. Huh. That's kind of cool. It just came out of nowhere, just like a massive cloud. Pretty neat. I like this. I like the weather. Alright, coming down pit road. We're going to make a pit stop. And I'm going to go, while we're changing tires and fuel, because it's going to be about a minute, I'm going to go grab a drink of water while the car is getting pit service. Just a real quick break for myself, and we'll come finish this up. So I'm going to be right back. Pit service is going to take place, and we'll be back soon. So see ya. Oh boy, pit service is done. I hope I wasn't waiting too long, but here we go. We got a little bit of water. Got a quick drink, and we're off again. So put the water over here. And we're off for the second half of the challenge here at Sebring International Raceway. If you guys don't mind, get out of the chair for just a minute. But we're back at it. Some of these longer challenges may require a short break, but hoping to avoid that. Definitely needed some water though. I thought it was cool enough to do it without the water, but I had to go get some water. And here we are. And out of the gate with fresh tires, a new fastest lap, 2 minute 2.242. That's a really fun lap to say. 2 minute 2.242. I like that. That's fun. It's always good when you can come right out of the gate with fresh tires, full fuel, and run yourself a new fast lap. It's always a good feeling. Always a good thing. So yeah, I'm gonna sit down and kind of run some of these laps down a little bit more, and we are closing in on sunset very shortly. So we'll see you guys very soon, because the sun is about to set here at Sebring International Raceway. Right now it is about 5:15 local time, with sunset starting around 7. So we will see you in just a little bit, so stay tuned. Alright guys, how's it going? We are on lap 54, which means we have 33 laps to go here at Sebring International Raceway. And as you can see, the afternoon lighting is getting ready to prepare for sunset. As someone that's been to this event at this time of day, like multiple times, let me tell you, the lighting right now for being like 6:13 in the evening is spot on. Like that's and then a cloud comes in too. Like this is exactly what the racetrack looks like under this kind of lighting, and I'm so impressed. Like, this is like spot on. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for March. This is what the track looks like at this time of the afternoon, and it's awesome. This is so cool. It's like right about this time of day is when I'm usually like getting the grill ready and getting some dinner as we prepare for like the final hours of the race. And this is just, it's so cool. I can't wait to see what this backstretch looks like once we get into sunset. Because right now, like we're driving into the sun right now. This is just, this is so cool. As we're heading into sunset now. Yeah, they just did such a good job with this. I mean, oh my god. I'm like, it like blows my mind every time I see it. And this is my first time seeing like a full like day to night transition with the day to light. So this is amazing. Like, this is spot on, and I'm really excited because like it's exciting, but it's also kind of scary because we're going to be heading into the nighttime hours and running a bunch of laps at night. But it's really cool at the same time that the track is going through these changes, so it's not like the same every lap like it was with the Miami challenges, because it was just the Miami ones were done before the daylight update. So all of those pretty much are just static light conditions, but everything from Sebring on is going to be like fully like day to night. I'm going to do some cool transitions, some cool lighting settings, and it's just going to be really cool. And I can't believe just how spot on it is. Like, they must have had people here like studying photos and weather patterns. There had to be so much research that was done for all these different areas, because I mean, this is just, it's so perfect. And people were wondering why it took them like 4 years to do this, because they wanted to do it right, and they did it right. Like, look at this, we're heading into the sunset right now. This is so cool. It's so cool. Yeah, we're about an hour away from complete sunset in sim time. That's probably going to be another 15 minutes or so for us. So I'm going to do something different here. Instead of cutting like I have been, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do a couple laps, and then I'm just going to time accelerate it so that you guys will be able to see how the light transitions as we approach darkness. So I'll probably talk a little bit here and there, but you guys are going to be able to see the full transition from here to complete darkness coming up shortly. It's going to be I'm going to accelerate the video in post so that it like doesn't take as long, but here you go. Enjoy the transition to nighttime here at Sebring International Raceway. God, that's so cool. Oh man. So hi guys. As you can see, we've reached peak sunset right now. So we're gonna be in the nighttime within just a couple of laps here. But oh man, driving towards the sunset like that, it's just, oh, that's so, oh, that turn 17 is called Sunset Corner for a reason. Wow, it's just so cool because like you take pictures like heading like aimed down the front stretch. You've just got the cars coming around the corner with the sunset. It's just so cool. Oh man, here it is again. We're gonna drive into the sunset. Into turn 17 or turn 7. It's not as pronounced on this corner because this corner isn't like directly in line with the sun, but turn 17 is, and it just makes it look so much cooler because you're directly in line with the sun as you're making the corner. So man, I couldn't imagine how hard that is if you were actually driving the car here, because I feel like driving the car into the sunset like that, you're basically just blinded, headed into like two really high-speed corners. I can't even imagine how difficult that is. It's so cool though. Like, I can't get over how just cool it is. Oh, that was it. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Oh. Here it is again, heading into the sunset. Oh, man. I just need to appreciate that because it's just really cool. It's so like spot on too. It's amazing. Oh my god! I completely like missed my braking point by a little bit there because I couldn't see the cone markers because they blended in with the reflection on the pavement. Oh, that's cool. That's kind of annoying, but it's also really cool that the cones the cones just blended in with the racetrack. Oh man. We're going to come around again and get another look at the sunset, and it should be a little bit more pronounced. As you can see, it is starting to get kind of dark out here on the racetrack, so supposedly all the lights are supposed to start turning on. Oh, I can see the lights are on. Yeah, okay, cool. The lights are on. You can kind of see like there's not like a lot of lights here because it is a relatively dark racetrack, but you can see the poles off in the distance there by the airport. Like those are on. And I bet some of the lights by the bridges, those are probably on now. Going a little slow there because I missed it last time. Here we go again, and now it's like super dark. We're heading into the sunset. Yeah, I think the lights on my car just turned on. Yeah, I can see them like reflecting off the cones now. It's always like the cones changed. That's kind of cool. Yeah, the cones changed. I just noticed that. The cones were like solid orange, and now they've got like the reflective tops on them. That's pretty cool with the cones change. Missed the corner. Okay. I'm just busy like looking at all the cool stuff. Wait, did the cones have white tips on them before? I don't think they did. I think the cones updated. It's kind of cool. Reflective cones. Yeah, I can definitely see the headlights are on now. So yeah, we are approaching. Yep, the lights on the bridge are coming on. Busy looking at all this stuff, I'm like missing the corners. It's just so cool. But it's like, hold on, you got some laps to run. You can't just stare at all this cool stuff. But I want to stare at all the cool stuff. Well, run your laps first. But that cool stuff is happening right now. We're gonna get quite a few laps at night too. Like, we still got 24 laps to do. Oh, what the? Really? Okay, that was a loss of control. I just locked him up there. Okay, so that's second mulligan. Second mulligan. That's an actual loss of control. So, better not do that again. Actually, I really don't think I'm gonna be starting this one over because it's just too long. I think we're just gonna go as long as I don't wreck the car at this point, just because this is like a really long challenge. But I'm busy looking at all the cool stuff, but I need to focus now. So we're approaching night. It's almost nighttime. Anyway, so we're approaching nighttime, so kind of excited. Like I said, we got 23 laps to go, so we're going to get a decent amount of time under the lights here at Sebring. But yeah, it's officially 7:38 server time, so within the next 2 or 3 laps, we should be in complete darkness for the most part. And I can't wait for that. That's going to be so cool. But I don't really have a whole lot else to say on the transitioning from day to night, other than, man, that's cool. I don't know how many times I can say cool before you guys get tired of hearing me say cool. So comment below cool if you think it's really cool how the day to night is. So I'm expecting to see the comments on this video just flooded with cool, cool, cool. It's just, it's so cool! Yeah, it won't be long before we're in like complete darkness too. Like, it happens pretty quick, which is awesome. Yeah, I can already see like the light beams coming from like the towers. Yeah, that sucker's almost completely gone. Yeah, that's gonna be gone real soon. We're probably gonna get 20 laps or so in complete darkness, which we're running 87 of them, and 20 of them are in complete darkness. That's a good percentage. Let's see how close to 10:30 at night we are when we finish, because that's about when the 12 hours of Sebring ends, is about 10:30, 10:40, depending on when they get the actual green flag. Yeah, it's so dark out here right now. It's not like complete darkness, but it's dark enough that you can really see the impact of the headlights coming around these corners now, and you can see like clearly defined lights up there. Yeah, I can see the glow in the car from the LEDs on the side of the race car. And at this point, we're basically in complete darkness at this point. So, how about that? From the daytime to the nighttime, here at the Yakes87 World Tour. Still a little bit of sunlight, so it's not like completely dark, but I mean at this point it might as well be night, so, or dark anyway. won't be very long before the track's in complete darkness. I think that's pretty cool.
2:03.799.
Oh, where's the... There it is. Okay. It's amazing how disorienting it is, going from like... Because you can like kind of see, but like not really right now. It's like kind of weird. It's weird because like I don't have to use the headlights fully yet. So I'm like looking ahead like I have been like the whole time instead of just like looking at what's up ahead on the headlights. So it's gonna be like weird to transition from like looking so far ahead to like just looking at what I can see on my headlights. It's starting to get there though. Like, and there we are, guys. We're officially in complete darkness now. There's just a little bit of light up on the horizon, but other than that, it is completely dark on the racetrack right now. So we're basically only able to see what's in the headlights. So we'll stay with you guys for just a couple of laps here as we watch the sun officially tuck behind the clouds, or behind the horizon for the final time. But yeah, it is officially completely dark on the racetrack right now. All there is just like an eerie glow up on the horizon. It won't be very long before that's completely gone. What? That's weird. It's disorienting. I can't see anything anymore. Jesus. Okay. Alright. Just completely missed the turn there that time. Man, this is more difficult than I thought it was. And I ran a whole bunch of laps at night to prepare for this. But just the fact that we're like having to... Well, that was my bad. But because we're like having to adjust on the fly from day to night, oh, it's so much harder than just practicing at night. Because I'm like used to what I've been seeing for the past like 2.5 hours, and what I was seeing before is now gone. It's just like so suddenly gone. Oh, it's cool though, but I need to just take a couple laps to focus and readjust. So I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed the transition from daylight to night. So we'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. We have we're on lap 69. Nice. So under 20 to go here at Sebring International Raceway. So I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit here, probably with 10 to go. So stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome back. It is lap 74 here at Sebring International Raceway. As you can see, we have been plunged into complete and utter darkness here on the racetrack. It has made things a lot more challenging than I thought it would. I went like the whole challenge without going off track a whole lot or making a lot of mistakes, and I've gone off track so many times just by misjudging where the braking zones start and end and when I need to turn in. So hoping that, I mean, the last couple laps have been pretty clean. The laps are definitely pretty much on the same pace, basically. Not really getting any faster, but not really getting a whole lot slower, which is kind of nice. But we're going to be coming into pit this time by for the final time here at Sebring International Raceway. Once again, the fact that we're needing to make 2 stops is because I didn't check the fuel at the beginning, and we started with like half a tank of gas. So regardless, this still would have been like a 2-stop race. It would not have been a 3-stop though. So an extra pit stop, not going to be that bad. It'll give me a chance to kind of adjust and reflect as we head into the final stretch of the challenge here. So this will be completing lap 75, which will leave us with 12 laps to go. So we are very, very close to the end here at Sebring International Raceway, and I can't wait. This has been a really, really fun adventure, and we're going to be wrapping things up here at Sebring International Raceway and making our way up to Lakeland to run some laps at USA International Speedway. So I'm going to take a little drink here. That was a lot of drink. So once they finish giving us fuel, alright, and we're off. So alright guys, we are off and running. Lap 75, we've got 12 laps to go here. So thanks for sticking with me for so long. Oh man, this has been an adventure. But it's been really cool. Like this has given me the chance to finally like dive into the day to night transition and just see how it works. And like it's honestly has affected me driving more than I thought it would, because the whole like mid period before like I finally settled into the darkness was just really wacky, because like I could see but I couldn't really see, and I was just driving off track and missing braking points and stuff like that. And I've gained so much more appreciation for like the drivers that do this, because that is tough. That is so tough to do. Like when I was practicing for this one, just like preparing myself for it, I was like, well, we need to run some night laps. So I loaded up the track at night and was like, oh, this isn't so bad. This is easy. I was just running laps at night. It was fine. Like right now, this is fine. I'm running laps at night. But the transition period when you could like kind of see but couldn't see, that was a different story. That was a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. Especially after driving for so long, being able to see the whole track, and then suddenly you can't. Like now I'm finally adjusting to what I am able to see on the track and what I'm not able to see on the track, and it's actually cleaned up the laps and, you know, picked up the pace just a little bit. But man, that whole period where I couldn't really see but could, that was so cool, and it was so challenging, and I can't wait to do that some more with some other tracks. So anyway, I'm going to settle in and we're going to ride this thing out to the end. And I'll check up with you guys when we get closer to the end. So stay tuned, everybody. Alright, everybody. It is lap 85, which means we have just 3 laps remaining at Sebring International Raceway. And let me tell you, we're now 3 hours and 4 minutes since I launched the session, which means I've been driving for about 3 hours. And I'm starting to get kind of tired, let me tell you. Oh man, I think as of right now, Anything past 2.5 hours really starts to drain me. Because I was like really good up until like 5 laps ago or something like that. Like right around like lap 80, it was just like, ugh. But you know, we're getting there. We got just a few to go, so the pain will end soon. I'm getting a little tired, and honestly, my back is starting to hurt just a little bit. I don't know what that's about, but probably just from sitting too long. So definitely gonna make sure if I have to do one of these again, or some even longer ones, definitely gonna maybe take the pit stops and like take like a few minute break or so and get up and stretch and just make sure I'm comfortable. You know, it's not a competition in these, so you know, if I need to get up and make myself a little bit more comfortable here and there throughout the challenges, then I'm gonna do that. I think I'm good for like these 3-hour challenges, but I think if I'm doing another one, I might just come in like on the pit stops and just use the pit stops as like an actual like more of a break than like a pit stop and go. For not all of them though, just some of these longer ones. I've been thinking about like when I get to when I do Nürburgring, like that one's gonna be like an all-day thing. So I'm okay with like adding an extra hour to the overall challenge length if I need to just go take, you know, a 5 to 10 minute break at every pit stop, get a drink of water, get a bite to eat, or do whatever in order to get those challenges done. Because to try to do something like that, where it's like 10 to 12 hours in like one sitting without like breaks or anything like that, that's insane. So I think anything I calculate that's going to be around 3 hours or more with my practice laps, I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, during the pit stop, I'm going to take just a couple minute break just so that I'm not hurting myself doing these challenges. And that's going to help me, it's going to help me push my endurance and all that a little bit further each time. Maybe these 3-hour challenges I won't need to take breaks. Like obviously I didn't need to take a break for this one. I did run away during one of the pit stops and grab a drink of water, but it wasn't like I was like, I'm going to take a break. So we're actually on 2 to go, so next time by will be the last lap here at Sebring International Raceway, and my God, what a strange trip it has been. Obviously clocking in a little bit longer than 12-hour session time, a little bit over the 3 hours I had originally calculated, but that's okay. Obviously we had, you know, those couple of mistakes, and then obviously the pit stops kind of increased the time as well by a couple minutes, so overall not bad, but white flag is in the air here at Sebring International Raceway. Last lap. And then the next couple of challenges are going to be a little bit easier. Like I said, short tracks, you know, those will be under an hour to record. Those will be some pretty short ones. And that's good though, because if every single one of these was like 2 hours, it would burn me out so fast. But luckily we're getting some short ones mixed in there. Obviously, Sebring and Miami, some pretty long ones, other than of course the oval track we did, which was about 50 minutes of driving. So that one not too bad. But so yeah, as things come to a close at Sebring. We'll put this track behind us for now, but I will definitely be coming back here again soon. I don't know when, but I'll have to check the schedule, see when the Ford GTE is running in Sebring again, or maybe some of the GT3 cars I ran at Homestead. Maybe we can bring those to Sebring and run some races or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. There's definitely lots of options, but here we go, coming around the final turn at Sebring for the final time. Put your hands in the air! The final event at Sebring International Raceway on the Yakes87 Tour has come to a close. So, I just want to thank everybody for coming out and watching the race, challenge, video, whatever you want to call it. But thank you guys so much for coming to watch. It means so much. Like I said, like this video, give me those thumbs up if you want. Make sure you go to my channel page and hit the bell, and then you'll be immediately notified when the premieres start. Every single one of these videos is being premiered with the YouTube's video premiere system, which basically lets you watch it live with everybody else at the exact same time for the first time. So that's really cool. My hands are red and kind of sore, but oh, that was so much fun. That was a ridiculous amount of fun, and I can't wait to do another one of these on Sebring. Well, no, it won't be an 87 lap race at Sebring. Is not going to happen, but just more racing at Sebring. I'm looking forward to that. Sebring was fun. We had some issues with the Solstice and the Modified, but this one went off for the most part without a hitch. Obviously, we had the 2 loss of controls, the 2 mulligans, so we were kind of on edge for the last bit there. But overall, it was okay. We went off track a few times, but that's okay, because that happens. But definitely got some experience under my belt with day to night transition. Obviously, it's a little bit harder than it seems, and that's okay. But gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, we'll see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.